You wake up on a Wednesday morning, you pour your coffee, you sit down and check your bank account like you always do, expecting to see your Social Security deposit. But today, the money isn't there. Your heart drops. You pick up the phone and call Social Security. You wait on hold, 20 minutes, then 40, then an hour and a half. Nobody answers. Now imagine that when someone finally does answer, they tell you that you made a mistake, possibly years ago, and that the government has been withholding half your check to pay it back. You had no idea. Right now in 2026, this is happening to seniors across America. And the worst part is that most of them don't even know what they did wrong. I am Milena. I am a senior policy analyst and retirement finance expert. And I have spent the last several weeks studying the 5 most common Social Security mistakes that are costing seniors like you, not just money, but months and months of benefits you have earned over a lifetime of work. Now, before you worry, before your chest gets tight, I want you to know something. Every single one of these mistakes can be fixed. There are official government forms. There are legal protections. And I am going to walk you through every one of them today in plain, simple English. But I need you to stay with me until the very end of this video, because the 5th mistake I am going to reveal is one that almost nobody talks about. It is a silent error sitting inside your Social Security record right now, and if you don't catch it yourself, nobody will catch it for you. So let's start. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 67 years old. He lives in Ohio. He worked for 38 years as an electrician. Good, honest work. He paid his Social Security taxes every single paycheck for almost 4 decades. In early 2025, Robert started hearing the news. Social Security offices were closing. Thousands of government workers were being let go. People on TV were saying the trust fund might run out. His neighbor told him, "You better claim your benefits now before they take it all away." So Robert panicked. At 62, 5 years before his full or full retirement age, he filed for Social Security. He thought he was being smart. He thought he was protecting himself. But here is what Robert didn't know. By filing at 62 instead of waiting until 67, Robert locked himself into a permanent 30% reduction in his monthly benefit. Not temporary, permanent. For the rest of his life, his benefit at full retirement age would have been around $2,071 a month. Instead, at 62, he locked in roughly $1,450. That is over $600 less every single month for the rest of his life. On top of that, Robert kept working part-time after he filed. He earned $34,000 that year. He didn't report it. He didn't know he had to. So Social Security sent him an overpayment notice and started withholding 50% of his already reduced check. Robert went from expecting $2,000 a month to receiving about $700. He couldn't pay his rent. He couldn't afford his medication. And when he called Social Security to fix it, he waited 2 hours on hold, and the person who answered couldn't help him because they had only had a few hours of training. Robert's story is fictional, but every single rule I just described is real, and if you're not careful, it can happen to you. Let me break down exactly what these rules are and what you can do about them. Mistake number 1, claiming too early out of fear. Here is what the Social Security Administration officially states on their website. If you were born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67. If you claim at 62, your benefit is reduced by up to 30%. And that cut stays with you for life. Let me put real numbers on this. The average Social Security benefit in 2026 is $2,071 a month. If you file at 62 instead of 67, you lose roughly $621 every single month. That is over $7,400 a year gone. And if you had waited until 70 instead, you would have earned an extra 8% per year in what Social Security calls delayed retirement credits. That means the difference between filing at 62 and filing at 70 could be as much as 54% more money in your pocket every month. Now I know why people are panicking. The staffing crisis at Social Security is real. 7,500 employees were eliminated in 1 year. Wait times on the phone have stretched past 2 hours. It feels like the system is falling apart. But here is the critical truth. Even if the Social Security Trust Fund reserve runs low, and the projection is around 2033 to 2035, the system does not go to zero. Ongoing payroll taxes would still fund approximately 75 to 80% of scheduled benefits. So claiming early because you think everything will disappear is locking in a permanent pay cut based on a fear that the numbers do not support. AARP says it plainly. By far, the biggest mistake made is claiming too early. For every year you wait between 62 and 70, you get a bump of about 5 to 8%. That is a guaranteed return that is very tough to replicate any other way. Mistake number 2. Working while collecting early benefits without reporting your earnings. This one catches so many people off guard. If you are collecting Social Security before your full retirement age and you are still working, there is an earnings limit. In 2026, that limit is $24,480 a year. For every $2 you earn above that limit, Social Security withholds $1 from your benefit. And here is where the confusion gets dangerous. Most people think that money is taken away forever. They think they are being punished for working. That is not true. Social Security recalculates your benefit when you reach full retirement age. They give you credit for every dollar that was withheld. Your monthly payment goes up to compensate. And this is the critical part, you must report your earnings to Social Security. The official SSA website says, and I quote, "Let us know if you expect to earn more than you estimated, or you start working after saying you wouldn't." If you do not report it, what happens? Social Security finds out later through IRS records. They determine they overpaid you, and then they send you an overpayment notice demanding that money back with up to 50% of your monthly check withheld until the debt is cleared. That is exactly what happened to Robert in our story. Mistake number 3, skipping Medicare enrollment at 65 because you are delaying Social Security. This mistake is sneaky, and it is incredibly expensive. Many seniors know that delaying Social Security past 65 is smart because you earn those 8% yearly credits, so they wait. Good decision. But then they also skip enrolling in Medicare at 65, thinking the two go together. They do not. Medicare enrollment and Social Security claiming are two completely separate decisions. The Social Security Administration itself tells you in their official retirement benefits publication to sign up for Medicare 3 months before your 65th birthday, even if you are not taking retirement benefits yet. If you miss that enrollment window and you do not qualify for a special enrollment period through employer coverage, you face a lifetime penalty. 10% added to your Medicare Part B premium for every full year you were late. The standard Part B premium in 2026 is $202.90 per month. If you are just 2 years late, your penalty adds about $40.58 extra every single month for the rest of your life. 3 years late, that is a 30% penalty. You would be paying over $263 a month instead of $203. And for Part D prescription drug coverage, the penalty is 1% per month of delay. Miss it by 2 years, and you are paying an extra 12% on top of your drug plan premium permanently. Mistake number 4, ignoring an overpayment notice. If you get a letter from Social Security saying you were overpaid, do not throw it in a drawer. Do not ignore it. And do not assume they are going to take your entire check. Here is the current rule. As of April 2025, the default overpayment recovery rate is 50% of your monthly Social Security benefit. For SSI recipients, it is 10%. The government had briefly tried to set this at 100%, meaning your entire check, but after massive public outcry, they brought it down to 50%. But here is what too many seniors don't realize. You have rights. You can file Form SSA 632 to request a complete waiver of the overpayment if the error was not your fault, and repayment would cause you financial hardship. You can file Form SSA 634 to request a lower monthly recovery rate if 50% is too much for you to survive on. And you can file a formal appeal if you believe you were not actually overpaid at all. The key timeline is this. If you respond within 30 days of receiving that notice, whether with a waiver request or an appeal, Social Security will not begin withholding your benefits until they make a decision. You have 90 days total to exercise your full appeal rights. Do not let that clock run out. Mistake number 5, never checking your earnings record. This is the silent one, the one nobody warns you about. And it could be quietly stealing money from you right now. Your Social Security benefit is calculated based on your highest 35 years of earnings. If even 1 year is missing, if an employer failed to report your wages, if a W-2 was lost, if there's a clerical error, that year shows up as a 0. And a 0 drags down your average, which drags down your monthly benefit permanently. Social Security does not automatically audit your record for mistakes. AARP specifically advises seniors to review their earnings statement at least once a year. And if you find an error, you can file Form SSA 7008, which is the Request for Correction of Earnings record, at any time. Let me say that again. There is no deadline to correct your earnings record. If you find a mistake from 20 years ago, you can still fix it. But you have to look first. All right. Now that you understand the 5 mistakes, here is exactly what I need you to do. 3 steps. Do them this week, not next month, this week. Step 1. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov My Account today. If you don't have an account, create one. Once you are in, pull up your earnings record. Look at every single year. Compare it to your old tax returns or W-2s if you have them. If anything is missing or wrong, file Form SSA 7008 to correct it immediately. Don't wait. While you're there, check your estimated benefit amounts. Look at what you would receive at 62, at 67, and at 70. See the difference with your own eyes. Let those numbers, not fear, not rumors, guide your claiming decision. Step 2. If you have received any notice from Social Security, especially an overpayment notice, respond within 30 days. Do not ignore it. If you believe the overpayment was not your fault, file Form SSA 632 to request a waiver. If you can't afford the 50% withholding rate, file Form SSA 634 to negotiate a lower monthly amount. And if you claim benefits early and you are still within your first 12 months, know that you have the option to file Form SSA 521 to withdraw your application entirely and start over. If you have passed the 12-month window, but you have reached your full retirement age, you can voluntarily suspend your benefits, no form needed. You can even request it by phone and earn an 8% annual increase until age 70. Step 3. If you are approaching 65, or if you are past 65 and have not yet enrolled in Medicare, take action now. Call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213. The best times to call are early in the morning between 8 and 10 a.m. and later in the week, Wednesday through Friday. The SSA itself recommends these times for shorter wait times. Enroll in Medicare. Part B during your initial enrollment period, which starts 3 months before you turn 65. Do not wait until you file for Social Security. These are 2 separate decisions. Missing this window can cost you a 10% penalty per year that stays with you for the rest of your life. And if you had employer coverage that qualifies you for a special enrollment period, gather your CMS 40B and CMS L564 forms. You have 8 months after losing employer coverage to enroll penalty-free. Now, I want to say something important. I know how overwhelming this is. I know that these rules feel like they were designed to confuse you. And I know that with Social Security offices understaffed and phone lines stretched to the breaking point, it feels like you are on your own. You are not. But I need to be honest with you about something. YouTube is not a reliable way to get time-sensitive alerts about your benefits. Algorithms change, notifications get buried. And when a new rule drops that affects your Social Security, your Medicare, or your pension, you might not see my video for days or even weeks. That is why I created something specifically for you. Click the link in the description below this video right now. It will take you to the Global Senior Alerts official WhatsApp channel. When you join, you will be able to download a free Senior Benefits Protection Guide, a simple printable document that lists every form number, every phone number, every deadline, and every legal protection I covered in this video. You will also receive real-time alerts whenever a rule changes that affects Social Security, Medicare, pensions, banking rules, insurance policies, or travel regulations for seniors, straight to your phone. No algorithms, no guessing. You worked your whole life for these benefits. You paid into the system with every paycheck. Do not let a mistake you didn't even know you were making take that away from you. Join the channel. Download the guide, protect what is yours. I am Milena, and I will see you in the next one.